this is Lana with Lana Design for Spellbinders, and welcome to my channel. Today we're playing with Spellbinders Clubs for November of 2025, and let me tell you, these are something completely different from Spellbinders than from what we're normally used to. Better Press Club includes this beautiful girl with a dog. Then we have this almost like a chain looking very sophisticated foil plate of the month, and of course a 3D embossing folder. Such a fabulous release, and of course these are not the only clubs that Spellbinders is releasing. These are my favorite ones, and I will link them all down below in my description if you would like to check them out. One more thing to say is that the foil club comes with this beautiful foil, kind of a rose gold pinkish color. I love this release, and today we are going to be playing with something completely and totally different. Wax Seal Club is going to be in a separate video, so please stay tuned for that. I have already turned on my glimmer machine, and that is what we're going to be doing first. And I realized that I don't have arch dies, so I decided to make them myself using my Cricut machine. If you have arch dies, please feel free to use them. I just didn't have time to purchase the ones from Spellbinders. They wouldn't arrive in time. So I ended up using, again, my Cricut machine for this, and this is actually quite easy to do. This is going to be the first card that we're going to be making, and I am going to show you real quick what else we're going to be creating here. Next, we have this completely arched card in a sense. The first one is going to be attached to a 5x7 card base, but this one has a card base that is already arched. Again, if you have arched dies, feel free to use them. Unfortunately, I don't have it, so I decided to use my Cricut machine for this. And again, I like this because this actually is a 5x7 base, and unfortunately I can't even find dies that big. If you know that those dies exist, please comment below. And here is the last card. This is a circle card. It's going to be, again, completely circular. And I'm going to make somewhat a shadow box, if you can call it a box, that is round. And these circles are just cut with dies that I had on hand. So you can either use Cricut machine or such machine if you have it, or dies for either of this. Now, these little things here, these little strips that I'm holding, this is the key to creating a good shadow box. Unfortunately, there are no dies for them. I created them using a Cricut machine. If you have a Cricut machine, I will be happy to send you an SVG file. Please just let me know in the comments below, and I will be happy to send it to you. Now, these little guys are so easy to create and manage. As you can see, Cricut machine just simply embosses that line there, and it's very easy to just fold these flaps like so. I am going to do the same thing to the other side. Just again, nice and easy, just simply fold the flaps. And once that is done, these strips are going to be so easy to bend and make them in any possible shape you can think of. It can be a square, it can be a circle, it can be an arch, it can be whatever you want it to be. I used a 12x12 sheet, and I was able to fit about 10 of them on one sheet. And as you can see, if these are too short, you can simply attach them together and make them as long as you wish. or cut them if you need them to be shorter. Next, I'm going to use the foil and this beautiful foil plate and use my beautiful pink arch here. And I am going to foil this little panel here. I'm going to attach this to the extra piece of cardstock so it won't move and it's more secure. Next, this is going on the foiling machine to foil, and I'll be back with the results in just a second, your time. And let's see the results here. I'm going to just gently peel off this washi tape, and this plate is still a little hot, so watch your fingers. It looks like I have a good impression here. Let's peel it off, and it never fails. Look how pretty this looks. I absolutely love it. And then I'm going to be layering these arches with some foam adhesive. I ended up doubling my foam adhesive. I wanted this card to have a lot of dimension. Now I'm going to just add some liquid adhesive on the back of this panel and attach it directly to my card base. Looks like it's a little bit more crooked, so this is why I like liquid adhesive, because it gives you just enough time to correct your little mistake. So first we're going to put a smaller arch on the bottom. I'm gonna just peel off the backing and then simply attach the panel on the card base just like so. Looks so beautiful. And I'm going to do the same with the second panel. Just peel off the backing and attach it to the card. Now, to make this card even more special and more glamorous, I found these old pearls, or half pearls in a sense, in one of my embellishment drawers, and I added some liquid adhesive, and now I'm just going to put them all in the center of those circles. Now I'm going to tuck this one a little bit more in here. I'm gonna force it in. You can't really tell that it's lifting that paper up a little bit, but look how fabulous this looks. There is one more thing that I need to this card, and that last thing is, of course, this beautifully embossed panel. Look how fabulous this 3D embossing folder is. I am just going to glue it directly on my card base. And once again, I am using liquid adhesive. This is Art Glitter Glue, and I use this glue in a lot of my projects, if not all of them. Next, I'm going to put little tiny pearls all over this front panel. And that's it. The card is done. Look how glamorous and fabulous this looks. The only thing missing is a sentiment, and I will be adding sentiments at the end. My next card is going to be created with the Better Press Club for the month of November. Now, this set includes 2 separate dies, and the first one is a girl. And as you can see, there is a guide that I attached on the bottom of my Better Press here, and this is going to help me layer these dies correctly. So follow this guide and you will have no issues with layering your plates. I'm just going to put this through the die cutting machine and I'll be right back. Now let's see how this turned out, and look how fabulous this girl looks. I love this impression. Now, since everything is nice and clean, I'm going to just add this little dog where the guide is. So follow your guide. and you will have no problems with your images. Next, I'm going to just gently ink up the stamp or the plate or the die, however you want to call it. And as you can see, because this die is so small and easy to move, I'm going to make sure that this little doggy fits right where it's supposed to. That is perfect. Next, I'm going to put my top plate on top, of course, and put it through the die cutting machine one more time. And let's see the results. Oh, how perfect is this? Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Next, it's time to assemble this card. First, I'm going to grab a panel and this little tiny walls, so to speak, they're going to help me create that shadow box look. I'm going to add glue directly on these little flaps, just like so, and simply glue it onto the backing of my card base. And I'm going to repeat this process until this panel is completely surrounded with the siding. Next, I'm going to create some sentiments. I am going to be using the plate from the Better Press Club, and there are several sentiments on this stamp. I love when companies do this. It makes your life so much easier because all you have to do is ink up that stamp or a plate or a die, however you want to call it, then put it through the die cutting machine. And let's see the results. Wow, what a great impression. Next, I'm going to use a coordinating die that came in the set. And I'm going to use my little Spellbinders Scout die cutting machine and die cut my sentiments here. And now I have a lot of sentiments done at once. This is brilliant. And now let's assemble this card. I'm going to put some foam adhesive right on the back of the panel and glue it directly on that beautiful base that I created. Next, I'm going to glue this dry embossed frame around my shadow box. The next thing that I'm going to do is add a sentiment, and it says life is better with girlfriends. And how fun. I'm already loving it. The only thing that it's left to do is to add some embellishments. And to make everything cohesive, I'm also going to add beautiful little pearls all over this card panel. Now, how glamorous does that look? Absolutely beautiful and so girly. Love this. Next, I'm going to use my liquid adhesive and put it all over the backing of that panel and attach it to the card base. And there you go. Another card is done in no time. Absolutely adorable. So much dimension, a lot of details. I'm just gonna let it dry for a few moments and it'll be ready to give to someone as a fabulous gift. And here is the last and third card. I wanted to do some foiling, but as you see, there's not enough contrast. So what I'm going to do is go back to the Better Press. Now, because this circle is not as big, I am just going to stamp the girl without the legs. First, I'm going to attach the panel here using some removable adhesive. Next, I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape to mask those legs so I don't ink them up accidentally. Next, I'm going to ink up the plate and remove the washi tape nice and gently. Be careful so you don't ink your fingers here. Next, I'm going to put this through the die cutting machine and I'll be right back. And let's take a look. This is so perfect. I love it. And now let's assemble this card. I also put some foam adhesive on the back of that panel, and I am just adding it into the center of that circle box card, if that makes sense. The next thing is the sentiment, and this one says, "Life is more fun with a little flair." I think this is perfect. Next, I'm going to add that same liquid adhesive on the back of the frame, just like so, and then just simply gluing it on the card. Just go over with your fingers, make sure that there's no gaps. And next, for just a little bit more interest, I'm going to add this beautiful pearlescent white to this image. This is going to be matching the pearls so beautifully and also give a little bit more interest and shine to the card. And now I'm going to add the pearls to make it a little bit more glamorous. And just like I did earlier, I'm going to add the same liquid adhesive on the back of that panel and attach it to the card base. And the card is done. How different and fun. And here we are at the end of today's video. All these cards turned out fabulous. Look at this circle card. I am so mesmerized by it, and I love how this turned out. I ended up adding a little bit more pearls to it. I wanted a little more glam, so to speak. This arch card is also very fabulous, maybe a little bit more simple than the rest of them. And here is the third card. This beauty is absolutely glamorous, and it says, "Here is to another well-styled year." Definitely for someone who is very fashionable. But of course, you don't have to go with a fashionable cards at all. You can make this into Christmas box cards, masculine box cards, whatever your heart desires. I just wanted to give you some ideas on what can be done. Trust me, there is no limit to creativity. Thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I will see you in another video where I am going to be featuring wax seals. Thanks again, and see you soon. Bye-bye.